that was a little easier than I thought. Something else is probably gonna go wrong. Old railing's off, new one's in here. I'm gonna kick it over, actually show you guys how I made this railing while I'm cleaning up, and then when it's all ready to go, we'll meet right back here. Stay tuned. This project had about 70 plus cuts with that good old trusty cheap Harbor Freight cutoff wheel. And yes, it was all self-inflicted because of the design I chose. And that was no thanks to the other YouTuber, Mr. Build It. Thank you for the design. Had nothing to do with a railing that he did, but he actually did this picture right here. That was from a barn door that he did. So it was just one of those things where I thought, hey, you know what? If it was made out of wood, let's make it out of metal, right? So that you're not measuring the spacing with a tape measure between every weld, then do what I did. Cut yourself out some blocks. My code's a minimum of 4 inches spacing between railing, and man, I'll tell you what, that makes it so that everyone is dead on even and it looks perfect. Alright guys, everything is tacked up in place. Time to do the full welds now. Let's get to it. Do not let the welding scare you away from this project. If you've never welded before, then check out some of the links in the description of this video just to get you started. That's kind of where I started here on YouTube. I've done a lot of videos of even the simple cheap welders of what to get. Start there, and I promise you, you'll be welding frames like this in no time. Take 2. All of those rails were made out of 3/4 inch square tubing, and other than that, the only other metal material I used was this 1/8 inch by 2 flat bar. This is just very common stock material that you can pick up at either a hardware store, or I would suggest going to a steel supply shop. That way you can pick it up a lot cheaper. I mean, like fractions of the cost than the big box stores. Well, it is grinder time, and well, let me show you what we got here. First of all, no, you don't need to go get out 4 or 5 of these. I'm just that lazy and don't like changing out the heads. And so they're only about 10 bucks on sale at Harbor Freight, so why not pick up a few? Okay, this is a cutoff wheel. This is what actually cuts the metal for you if you haven't cut it up yet. This is a wire wheel, if you can guess why. This will actually clean up the welds. It will not take off any of the weld. It'll just take off some of those dingleberries and that kind of fun stuff that's left over from welding. Makes it look pretty, and if you got a nice looking weld, then leave it. If you want to grind the weld down flush, well, get a grinder or a grinder wheel, grinder disc, whatever. It's a thicker one than those cutoff wheels. This actually takes down the metal, and that still works great. You can leave it that as is, but it doesn't give it that nice finish if you want. So if you want to get that nice, shiny, polished finish, just primed, just ready for paint, finish it up with a flapper disc, okay? This is pretty much sandpaper on steroids. Makes it look nice and pretty. So, let's show you all these in action. See? Nice and shiny, looks great, but leaves the weld. As you can see, the grinder leaves all those scars in it. Well, let's clean it up with the flapper disc. Check out that hot sauce. I'm not gonna lie to you, I actually prefer a nice bead weld shown versus a ground down one. So I did both on this project. One side I completely ground down, flattened every weld, and the other side I'm keeping them all. Just gonna hit it with the wire wheel and make them all look pretty and ready for paint. When you buy metal, most of the time it comes with an oily substance to protect it. Acetone, just a quick brush of it, cleans that right up. And a quick shot of, yes, I did just use a simple rattle can on this entire project. I think it was a total of 3 coats. You might notice I'm not going to go into great details about making this wall, this area look that great, because here's a little preview for you. Here in about 3 or 4 months, this entire wall is going to be gone. I marked the center of the wall, or the center line as you will, with the center of this baseboard, because yeah, even though that wall is going to be gone, I do want my railing centered right now. Yes, I am going to be keeping the railing. Everything from this point over, we're keeping. Everything this point over, gone. So that's where you'll see my lovely lines with a marker to show that it's level. Not really level. Let me tell you guys something. Level is horizontal. Plumb is up and down. In case anyone cares. If you've ever worked with metal, you'll know it has a mind of its own. Yes, seriously, sometimes it will like shift on you, all that fun stuff. So even though I measured everything about 26 times, I specifically did the trim after I'd made the railing just because I had more play and more adjustment with that than with the railing. I've finished up the trim work. Man, first of all, I don't know why people went with the rounded corners, because doing trim is a pain. Hey, so to anchor this railing into the wall, I'm gonna be using some pretty good size 5/16 inch lag screws. Really, you can't just screw these into the wall. You need to put a pretty good size pilot hole in there. So you're gonna see me take the railing off, drill actually some nice straight pilot holes, then put the railing back on. We'll be good to fasten it all up, do some paint touch up, and man, this project's just about in the books. For the railing, guys, look, I went pretty high class here. I took it a step above a plain old 2x4 and got a finished pine. Yes, it really is just the next most expensive thing next to a 2x4, but regardless, I still have 4 little kids at home, and this railing's gonna have spaghetti on it by the weekend. So I'm not gonna put any exotic railing on there, at least for right now. I'm not gonna lie, guys, I think I scored on this railing, and that's just due to the fact that I had to buy almost no materials. I did have to buy another top railing up there, but that's some, cheap 1x3. I think it's like $8 to $10 for a 8-foot length. But yeah, a majority of that 3/4 inch square tubing was left over from that guy, from those railings. And so, there were a couple other things I think I would do a little differently if it were, if I were to start fresh. I'm still not sold on this whole mounting pad. I don't know what you call it. This was actually left over from the last railing. And I think I would continue this railing on all the way flush with that. Not that it looks that bad, just, I don't know. There's just something a little off with that. I mean, minor details that can be changed after the fact easily. Overall, I am super happy with how this turned out. And now we got some matching railings in the house. So thanks for watching, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. This is my new favorite spot. There's not even a TV in the kitchen.